Before you hit the record button, stop. Because most creators ruin their videos before they even start. It's either they have a foggy lens, a muffled audio, no audio, or a messy background. It doesn't matter how expensive your camera is, if you miss these 10 steps, your content will flop. Hi and welcome. My name is Kelechi. If it's your first time here, thanks for joining. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back. So today we're specifically talking about pre-filming checklists, basically things that you need to do before you even hit the record button. And I've been creating content for almost 10 years now. I've created over 600 videos, so I do know what I'm talking about. And these are the exact steps that I take before I even press the record button, because no one wants to waste time creating, because you're wasting resources, you're wasting your time, and you're wasting your effort. So the first thing you want to do is to clean your lens. I know this sounds very basic, but not a lot of people do this. Whether you're filming on your mobile phone or your camera, you want to clean the lens. The lens is very sensitive to smudges, to dust. So grab a microfiber cloth and clean it in a small circular motion. Do this every single time before filming. And guys, this makes a whole lot of difference whether you're taking pictures or you're making video content, whether you're filming on your mobile phone or you're filming on a professional camera. You want to think of the lens as the eyes. The blurry the eyes will be, the blurry the vision will be. Same thing with the lens. If you have smudges on it, it's gonna give off blurry, not so sharp, not so crisp quality. If you're someone who spends thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars investing in lenses, you want to make sure that you're optimizing it the right way by making sure that it's giving what it's supposed to give. Always make sure that you're maintaining it so that way you get the best vision and the best visual, right? If you're wearing glasses or sunglasses, you know there's a difference when you have smudges on it. And that's why you always have to clean it to get the best vision. So apply that same theory onto practice with your camera before filming, whether you're filming on your mobile phone or your camera. Next up, you want to check your lighting. Lighting can be so deceiving, and I will know that for sure. Check your lighting before you even record. Something that I do is I like to do a quick test shot, and that kind of test out the audio, the visual, and the lighting. You want to make sure that you as a subject is properly lit, but not too overexposed, and neither do you want to be underexposed. If you're filming with natural light, you want to stand directly in front of the light source and have your camera just in front of you, so that way you get the best quality, right? However, if you only have studio lights like I currently have, the same theory applies, right? You want to have a key light, that's the main light source, and you also want to have another few lights to kind of diffuse and like kill away any shadows, so that way you're properly lit and you're balanced. Lighting tells the story, and it tells the story, it sets the mood. And no matter how much you spend on a good camera, the lighting takes it up by different dials. I've created many resources on how to film using your kit lens and make it look professional, and I find that lighting does that, setting the light the right way. So make sure that you're lighting up your space and your light is properly set before you even film. And when I talk about light, I'm not just referring to the brightness, I'm also referring to the color temperature. Now personally for me, I like to set my light to daylight setting, so that way it looks the most natural, beautiful, and easy on the eyes. It's neither too yellow nor too blue. It's just somewhere in the middle, and I use that across board across all my studio lights. So set your lights at the right temperature and also at the right intensity. However, if that is your aesthetic, if that's what you're going for, if you're creating a movie, then feel free to play around with the settings, play around with the customization to best suit your content. But lighting is key. You always test your audio. And I'm saying this with so much passion because I've spent hours and hours of resources and time creating content that are now waste because I didn't do this. Test your audio levels. Test the audio to make sure that it is properly plugged in. Sometimes when connecting the cord to the camera, it doesn't go in fully, and I make these mistakes all the time. So it's so important to make sure that you test the audio when you fully set up. Audio makes up about 50% of your content. If no matter how beautiful the visual looks, if the audio is not right, then you've lost about 50% of the value of your content. So you always want to make sure that you are testing the visual and the audio. Audio is so important in my opinion, and make sure that the audio sounds good. Something that I do right now is I'm currently connected to like my AOS utility on my desktop, so I can see that when I'm talking, I can see the levels are moving. And something that I will say and advise before you hit the record button is to import your test files or clips onto your device before you even start recording officially. Or if you're filming on your mobile phone, you can play back and see what that looks like and sounds like before you actually go into the content creation. So that's something that I will say, no matter how pumped you think you are, when you go into content creation and you're creating your content, sometimes it skips our mind and we forget to do this. And then we put in so much energy and excitement into filming. And then when we're done, we're like, oh my God, it's going to be amazing. And then we go back, we play back, we review, and it's nonsense. You don't want that. So next up, you want to declutter your background. Everyone has a messy life, no matter how perfect you are. And not everyone in the world on the internet needs to see that. Declutter your background. Sometimes something you can do if you have the ability is to separate yourself from the background so that way you can give off a little bit of depth and blur, and the background can be blurred out a little bit. But if you can't, declutter the background, remove any items or objects that are not relevant to the video you're creating. And if you can create your own background like I have going on right now. So this is pretty much set. However, if I were to be filming in a different location, maybe my living room or my bedroom, I will declutter the background and move things around, make sure that it looks clean and it's ready while filming. So this is like a 1 minute, sometimes 5 minutes hack to just make sure that you are set and ready to go. So this one is a no-brainer. You want to have your bullet points or your scripts ready. This is basically what you are presenting. This is the main dish. This is your food. So you want to make sure that it's being ready to serve, right? No matter how perfect you are when it comes to presenting, I don't think anyone can memorize a 20-minute video script that is about 5,000 words long. Something that I will say is to have your script or your highlights note ready, right? You want to have it beside you, like I have my notes right here, or you want to have it on your screen like I currently have right here. So on my screen I have some highlights, some bullet points that I'm talking about now, and now I'm just freestyling, right? However, if you're someone who feels comfortable with reading and you feel like you can read with like the most natural flow, you can use teleprompters. These are widely acceptable. They are used by newscasters. They are used on TV. It just helps with presenting and creating a natural flow. So that way you're able to deliver your content faster, right? However, if you're someone who doesn't know how to sound natural while reading, I will not advise that, right? Because again, people pick off from your energy and from your confidence. And if you're not able to exude that level of confidence while reading because you're a little bit confused and trying to figure out word for word and trying to sound natural, right? Skip that. I don't do scripted content. I do highlighted content, and I make sure that whatever I'm talking about, I'm vastly knowledgeable and experienced with that. So that way I'm able to speak from my heart and my head and share with you guys exactly what needs to be heard, right? And if you feel like you keep fumbling through your scripts, through your content, let me tell you, it is okay to pause, stop what you're recording, and go back to your notepad where you have your highlights or your desktop and kind of skim through what's been written before. No one says you need to have everything figured out before recording. What matters is the end product and how they feel and what they get in terms of the value from the content. So like me, for instance, when I'm recording, I record it bit by bit. I don't do more than 1 to 2 minutes per session because I get overwhelmed and sometimes I could talk and talk too much. So having that little break kind of gives a bit of reset, right? So that way you can pause, adjust, redo, and enhance if you have to. So next up, you want to make sure your battery or batteries are full and that your storage is free as well. Nothing kills content creation more than when you've gone halfway through and then you realize that your battery is dead or your memory is full, and not only do you have to pause your recording, you have to hold on that recording so that way you can transfer, recharge your battery. Sometimes that takes about 30 to 40 minutes for that little transfer and transaction. For me, I find it to be a mood killer and a mood drainer because now you have to reframe your mind to get back into that scene, in that position that you're previously on. So I will say that something that I don't do batteries anymore when I'm filming in studio because again, I film hours and hours of clips. What I do is I have dummy batteries for all all my devices, and whenever I'm filming on my mobile phone, I always use a power bank so that way I don't run out of battery, right? So if you're filming on a camera, invest in dummy batteries, especially if you're filming in studio, indoor, in your home, and there's power supply. Use that will take you through hours and hours, probably the whole day of filming. Always have a formatted or a free SD card that you can always slot into your camera once, or if you run out of space. And if you're filming on your mobile phones sometimes could be very restrictive when it comes to storage. Something you can do is to invest in external storage. Highly recommend this one, guys. Is the Samsung SSD drive. This is a 1 TB drive, and the cool thing about this is that not only can I use this to edit and to transfer files, if I'm filming on my mobile phone, I just need to connect this, connect this in, and this now serves as my memory card or my storage device, and I could record directly into this. I just want to share that with you guys. And next up, you want to frame your shot. You want to give yourself a little bit of headroom, and you also want to put into consideration the rule of third. You either want to be positioned in the middle or somewhere around here. Anywhere else is considered out of frame, and you don't want that, right? So that way, if you're positioned this way, you can have your text written on here to give you space to edit, to create as well. Or if you're showcasing products, you can do that easily. You don't want to be too up that it cuts off your head, or too low that you have too much headspace. Imagine watching this video and I'm positioned like this. This is a totally different feel, right? I feel like this is weird because there's too much going on here. This is enough to fit another human being. To be honest, sometimes that could be a little bit distracting because it confuses the mind and the brain on where and what to focus on, because it's just too much, right? So definitely frame your shot, put into consideration the rule of thirds, make sure that you're in the right position, and put into consideration the type of content you're filming. So next up, do a wardrobe and appearance check. Right? I'm not just talking about what you're wearing. I'm talking about your hair, the way you look, how you're presenting. Everyone knows that the way that you're dressed is the way that you're going to be addressed. And for me, dressing is more than just what you're wearing. It's about the whole package, the way that you are presented, right? If you're putting content online, put in mind that whatever you put online is going to be there forever. You want each content that you're creating to represent who you truly are and to also shine through as well. You also want to create a contrast between what you're wearing and what the background looks like, right? Now my background is white, my walls are white, and I'm wearing a white shirt. However, I do have this wooden drawer that's kind of breaking that and making me stand out even more. If I didn't have this behind me and it was just a plain white background, I will sink in and it wouldn't look good. So you always want to dress to address who you are, but you also want to address to soothe the scene, the background, to complement it and not to sink into it. And lastly, before you hit the record button, please do a mindset reset. Now, you can create rituals for yourself that kind of elevate the mood and gives you a little bit of confidence. For me, it's music. I love music. Music just kind of amplifies the mood. It makes me excited. It makes me happy. It gives me energy. It's like my little bit of dopamine, right? So when I listen to music and I dance a little bit for like 5 minutes, I'm like in the mood and I'm ready. I'm energized, right? So whatever it is to get you in a calm, sane, confident mode, you want to do that. You want to stand up tall, sit down upright if you have to, smile if you have to, keep a straight face if you have to. Whatever it is that gets you feeling confident and comfortable, do it. So yeah, these are the exact 10-step pre-filming checklist that I do before I hit the record button. And if you're someone who has fallen victim of any of these mistakes, let me know down in the comment section. I feel like everyone must have done one of these things. No matter how perfect you are, if you're a creator, it comes with the territory. It will happen. It should happen because that's how you learn and that's how you grow as well. And all these have happened to me over the last couple of years, and that's how I'm able to learn and share my experience and expertise as well. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, like, share, comment, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, make sure you stay blessed and you stay creating amazing content, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.